All right, here we are live at the Crown Plaza Hotel in downtown Orlando for the epic weekend event, Shadow Warriors and Beyond the Battlefield. Okay, we're just at the tail end of it. We have some two instrumental gentlemen right here with us. We have Chance Shallow, who goes as Hollywood. Then we have Ryan Weaver. Okay, so we're going to start off with Chance. Chance, Army vet, 40 years, military law enforcement, master certified Harley-Davidson mechanic, and founder of national president of Shadow Warrior Riders. Thanks for coming aboard, Chance. Appreciate you being here today.
Thank you so much, sir. It's nice to be on the radio with you again. I think we did this about 4 years ago.
4 years ago, it was Crystal Parker event at the Ace Cafe. What a sad event. We lost another veteran to suicide.
Yes, it was definitely tragic to have that happen in front of her husband. We came together as a nation. You were so kind to come out and be there for the event and do the interview, and we definitely appreciate that. Much better circumstances this weekend, however.
What an outstanding event. And our next guest is Ryan Weaver, country music artist, another instrumental person with the event, former Black Hawk aviator, and a second-time Gold Star family member. Ryan, thank you very much for coming aboard.
I appreciate it. This is my first interview with you, so we appreciate you having us on.
I appreciate you guys all being here. I mean, what an epic event. Now, I would like to just start off just about the great movie of, Bastards Roads Project, just to kind of start off with that event, because it was so moving, emotional, roller coaster ride for everyone involved. And did you know that kind of movie, we were going to see that type of movie?
Yes, and you said Bastard Roads Project. There's actually two separate Bastard Roads. They're tied together. There's Bastard Roads, the documentary, and then there's Bastard Roads Project, which is Jonathan Hancock's 501c3, where he takes veterans in national parks and takes them for a walk, kind of a bonding experience for veterans to deal with their PTSDs. But as far as the movie Bastards Road, I saw it earlier this year in Texas at a Beyond the Battlefield Warrior Weekend. It was the first time I had seen it. I was so moved by it that I went to Margaret Tigan, who is the CEO and founder of the Beyond the Battlefield Tigan Foundation, excuse me. I'm going to get slapped in the head by Margaret for saying that wrong. But I went to her and I said, look, we have got to get Jonathan out with his movie and show it at this event in Orlando.
Outstanding. And then we have Ryan Weaver. You're a two-star Gold Star family member. That movie must have been impactful for you. Did you get a chance to see it?
Yeah, I'm friends with John Hancock. He actually sent me the film for preview before I even before it came out. John and I have been friends for quite some time. We've done several veterans events together. He's would consider him a brother, there were a lot of times during the movie I had to walk out, because when they're talking about the Gold Star family members and funerals and that kind of stuff, for going through that twice, with my brother being killed in Iraq in 2004, my brother-in-law being killed in Afghanistan in 2013, those memories are still fresh. It doesn't go away, which is, I think, one of the best things about the movie is being able to show how he used the walk that he went on for healing for himself, but also healing for other folks as well, and the camaraderie that comes along with that is something that's truly indicative of what the Shadow Warrior Riders Motorcycle Club does for everybody else as well, and us getting together in these times with friends and family and just showing the love for each other.
There wasn't a dry eye in the house when you were up on stage, and it brought home things to me too as well. In Afghanistan, 2004, I had the eulogy for a 19-year-old, my gunner, at Camp Bagram. Okay, and the battle cross, being there, his boots and his M4 and his Kevlar is so emotional, and then having the closure with the Gold Star mother 6 months later. And that movie was telling about how it's important to have the closure with the Gold Star family, and it did. It lifted a lot of weight. And they asked that question, and it's the toughest question that you can imagine. What was my son's life the last 24 hours? It was so impactful. I'm so glad we got that closure out. And it's all about getting everything you have inside you out. And like they mentioned in the movie, that everyone is a 24-hour suicide hotline. Can you tap in on that?
The issue that we have with a lot of our vets that deal with the mental anguish of going down range and seeing what they see and dealing with what they deal with while they're deployed. A lot of times when they reach out for help, they view themselves as being weak, and they highlighted that in the film. And I'm here to tell you that there is no weakness in reaching out. You're weak if you don't reach out, because there's such a network out there. And mission of the Shadow Warrior Riders Motorcycle Club was to help bring these different veterans organizations together so we can be there to help our needy vets and also our first responders. And beyond that, their spouses, because they also deal with a tremendous amount of stress while their loved ones are deployed, or if they are unfortunately lost in combat. And Ryan knows that all too well from his experiences within his own family.
Do you have a lot of songs and lyrics that have to tie into your experience of being a 2-time Gold Star family? Can you share that with the audience?
I toured with the professional bull riders across the nation. In 2017, my first show was T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas with them at their World Finals, and we debuted a song that I co-wrote, called Never Forgotten, with the tribute video for New York Fire Department, New York Police Department that were killed on 9/11, the Dallas police officers that were killed in the downtown attack, Black Lives Matter shooting that was downtown, a Border Patrol agent that was killed as well, and my family. It was, my first show in 2018 was Madison Square Garden with that video, and it was played in every major arena across the nation. So we played, I think, every major arena that you could think of. AT&T Stadium was one of the biggest shows that we did, but we were able to spread a message, across the nation, not just because I'll say that the Shadow Warrior Riders Motorcycle Club is made up of all kinds of heroes, not just the military heroes, but all kinds of heroes that are serving in law enforcement and have been first responders, and you name it. And we wanted to honor all of them. And I think that one of the best things about the Shadow Warrior Riders is that it's an inclusive group to everyone that needs to find some kind of a brotherhood and sisterhood in that regard. And being able to do that across the nation fit really well into what the Shadow Warrior Riders do. And telling my brother's story, I always made a promise that no matter where I went, if I was on stage, I'd never let anybody forget the sacrifices that they made. And that's awesome with this organization. It's an awesome thing that we get to do often, is we always remember the sacrifices of those that came before us.
Well, I'm there with you. My hearts are with all of you in the group, because I started my own nonprofit, Never Forgotten Memorials, and I built fallen soldier memorials for Rock and Brews restaurants, which you guys are invited to the grand opening in Tampa, by the way. I'm allowed to invite 4 people. You guys are my last 2 on my list, so just want to let you know. It's
well, if you've got entertainment for that thing already not lined up, I'd be happy to.
Oh, there you go. Perfect. So we're going to unveil the Battle Cross. I have the Battlefield Cross going to be unveiled that day.
That's
so
awesome.
It's a 360 Battlecross field, and I put it on top of a American flag 3x5, perfect, painted just right, and I got 2 American eagles on each side guarding it, and so it's pretty powerful. It's a great match, and I'm blessed to have that. I'm their veteran liaison. But I also want to tap on something that was very special last night for me, and it was the first time that I've been honored like in that way. When you had everybody stand up, who enlisted after 9/11, and I was one of them right after 9/11. After seeing that, I had to go back in, and I was just fortunate to get back in at the age, because I got out in '91. But it was the first time I got honored for doing that. So I'm glad you guys recognize that.
Of course.
So, and of course. The New York firefighters, the 411 firefighters that went back into the towers.
Let me tell you something about that. We usually have more than one that show up. NYPD Ground Zero and FDNY Ground Zero people that show up are FDNY firefighter paramedic Kim Arnold, who is just a wonderful human being that has her own nonprofit agency called Dolls with Degrees. I think she is going through a lot of issues right now with some cancer and some very significant health problems that are stemming from her work at Ground Zero. It was such that she couldn't join us this year, but she has been with us since day one, coming and supporting our events, and I take every opportunity I can to honor her work and the other Ground Zero responders that not only were there that day, that rushed into those buildings knowing full well that could be it for them, but the ones that came in afterwards for months and months and months and sifted through to be able to give some of the families closure. So you guys might not have been there, but you were definitely remembered, and we look forward to having them back next year.
Yeah, she's an awesome woman. She's an awesome woman.
And let's not forget Stephen Still, the foundation, Tunnel to Towers Foundation.
Yes.
They do a run every year, and they were actually this year. They said they weren't going to let 9/11 pass this year, and they went and fought to the city, and they actually got to be able to do a calling of all the 3,000 names on 9/11, which was awesome.
I saw that on TV. That was awesome.
I'm glad that nobody forgot that situation there. So, tell me what the beginning of Shadow Warriors, real quick, and where you are now, and where you headed in the future.
Yeah, I've been doing nonprofit work within the motorcycle community since the early 90s when I got out of law enforcement and police work and moved here to Tampa. Started a foundation in Tampa, which was called the Bunny Run, which was done around Easter, and it's still going on today. So that's a lot of years. I don't have my shoes off to count on my toes how many years that is right now, but it's still going on. I'm very proud of that. When I moved here to the Orlando area because of my current job, started working with Nemours Children's Hospital to help bring awareness and comfort items, health and comfort items, to the oncology ward for the children at Nemours. Mm-hmm. And 4 years ago, started up this current endeavor of ours, the Shadow Warrior Riders Motorcycle Club, because we felt that Americans either have selective memory loss or short-term memory loss when it comes to things such as 9/11/01. My daughter hit it home when she said, I'm probably the last generation that's going to remember those planes hitting, and she was really young when it happened. And then we, I actually had run a Ryan Weaver's video sent to me, which was Burn, America's New Fight Song, when I first was putting together an event, and I was looking for a grand marshal, and we were fortunate enough to get one of the Benghazi guys to come to our event. And at the same time, it's just, the 6 degrees of separation. Somebody sent me this video, and I said, man, I'd like to get a hold of that guy. And the wife of this Benghazi survivor put me in touch with Ryan. And, sometimes there's like a kindred spirit with each other. And when the first time Ryan and I met, and we've basically been inseparable. I mean, he's lost brothers. I had no brothers. I'm an only child. I love this man like he was my own brother. And man, we work well together doing this. So, look, y'all get out there and you watch that movie, Ryan Weaver Burn. And we got something we're working on special right now together.
So we started getting in, we actually have a project called Arrival, a non-profit. Well, it's going to be a public service announcement short film in the fight against human trafficking. And we've got two Benghazi heroes for sure that are going to be in it, Dave Boone-Benton and John Tigan. We have Chris Ferranto on board right now. He's really super busy, so hopefully we'll be able to continue with him on the project. But we have Craig Sawman Sawyer, who's got Contraland, the show Contraland already out. He's been in the anti-pedophile world. And JP Cervantes, special operations guy who's doing human trafficking stuff. We got Diana Muller, professional shooter, Corinne Mosier, professional shooter, and tactical trainers. We got Chance is going to be in there. We got Scott Campbell, really, really good friend of mine. I'm trying to think of who else we've got in there. Oh, we got Chad Prather and Officer Brandon Tatum. So all of these folks. And then we just recently brought Chuck Liddell on board. So we have UFC former world champion, multiple world champion UFC fighter come on board. And we're talking to a few other folks. The biggest thing is, if everybody's out there listening to this, and I haven't bored you to death already, we're having trouble getting this thing funded because of the subject matter, I think, is what it is. It's been really, I mean, it took us 2 months to get Burn done, and the budget was less than half of what we need now. And I've been working on this since October, and it's been like wading through waist-deep wet concrete. And it's just been a difficult thing to get done. And we're giving this short film public service announcement for free to every human trafficking organization across the United States, no matter how big or how small they are. If they want it, all they got to do is put their public service announcement on the backside of it for their organization specifically. We're going to run through a human trafficking scenario that is kind of made up of 3 different real scenarios that JP Cervantes and a couple of the other folks that are involved in writing the script. We're going to go through a real one, so it can be an educational piece, but it can also be it needs to be entertaining, and it needs to have. Well, we're going to have some incredible action scenes in there, and I'm extremely excited about the project. And there's also going to be a collateral music video. So as my boy here said, check out Burn. So there are going to be there's going to be a music video off to the side that's a collateral thing. It's not the primary project anymore. So we're gonna make that happen as soon as we possibly can. We'd like to film in spring of next year, and we're already talking about doing an awesome event down here in Orlando to be able to rock it at Ace Cafe over here.
Outstanding. So you're talking about filming in the Florida area?
Right now, we're looking at filming the majority of it in the Florida area. We've got Bat Defense down southeast, but I've got several other ranges that we're talking to that do multiple scenario training, and we may end up using some of those ranges as well, because we'd like to do some live fire stuff. Burn was all live; all the guns were shooting live fire rounds downrange. So we want to try and make it as realistic as possible and as safe as possible. Obviously, if we're going to get it done. So,
well, I'd love to get a theme song from one of your albums. So, what theme song would you pick for Revitalizing Lives? That's the name of the podcast. That's what we do. We've revitalized that veteran, so he's back on his feet, finds his why, finds his purpose, and we hope that he can mentor someone else, another veteran. That's our goal, is to get him up, get his purpose and why, and get him to mentor another veteran, and then it carries on. Can you think of a theme song that would be
I've got several theme songs. I don't own the Celebrate America EP. It's all patriotic stuff, but I do have Time Like This, Arrival, Burn. I mean, it depends on how you want to do it. I've got several podcasts that use Burn right now, so because it's really pro-America, brotherhood, that kind of thing.
Yeah, because I used Adam Martin's Tonight We Ride, because I was an MP in Afghanistan, and he told me his stories, and 4 years ago. So for about 6 months, I used his theme for the show, and that was Remember the Fallen back then. So now I decided to go straight to, so I have two podcasts. Sad to say, I have one for the dead and one for the living, and that's the only way to explain it. Mm-hmm. So Remember the Fallen's been out. So I go over 123 podcasts, so I'm hoping to continue on. I did take a sabbatical, so they're like, "Oh, you're finally back, Dave." It took about 3 months sabbatical because of COVID. Because now we got the prisoners run the asylum right now. What do you think of the environment right now? Who wants to go first on that?
Were you here for the concert on Friday night?
Yes, I was.
All right. Well, Ryan, my brother here, he has a platform that I can't quite hop onto yet to do things that I would really like to do because of the current work that I do. But I will tell you that there was an individual that tried to board a Frontier Airlines flight in Atlanta wearing a American flag gator mask. I was told that he couldn't board the flight with that mask. The airline gave him a paper mask to put on. He pulled the gator mask up over that. They said, "No, sir, you really need to remove that. We don't want to cause any issues with other passengers," meaning that the American flag would upset other passengers. So this was really upsetting. Ryan ran with this thing on social media. Tig ran with it on social media. Within a couple hours, the vice president of Frontier Airlines was calling. It didn't go from there. I mean, it made it all the way to Fox News. Ryan, I'll let you speak more on this, but listen, on Friday night, I called the individual that was affected. He donated that mask, and we auctioned that mask off for $1,000.
I love it.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So we were able to take that circumstance that happened, and I don't. You could go on my Facebook page, Ryan Weaver Country. Check it out. The videos are posted. There are multiple videos. People seem to be stuck on the first couple videos that I posted. There's a lot more information that was presented. So anyway, go check that out on my Facebook page.
Well, there's another addition to that. Food Lion, okay? The veteran, he was a Vietnam veteran. He wore just the American flag as a face mask, and they told him to take it off, right? Come from corporate. You hear about that story?
Yeah, I didn't.
Okay, you gotta get a hold of that one. He refused to take it off, so he ended up quitting the job. So look up, Google Food Lion, a Vietnam veteran, and he lost his best friend in Vietnam, and he was going to keep that mask on for the American flag.
Oh, there's nothing wrong.
He was going to keep it on for his brother in Vietnam that he lost right next to him in the jungle, right?
Yeah.
And that was all he could think of. I'm not going to take this off for my brother.
Look, it's almost become a crime to be patriotic and be American in this day and age. And if you have any type of conservative values whatsoever, when you talk about right to life from birth to death, I mean, that's important to us conservatives. The right, the Second Amendment right. Anytime you start talking about this, they look at you like you're racist or something like that, or it's just crazy. I mean, you can be loving to all people of all races and all religions and still love the country to which you're from. I mean, that's what America's all about. And I've served, I'm almost 60 years old now, and I've served since I was 17 in one way or another this country. And it really pisses me off to see where we're heading with this right now. And it is not against the law to be an American. It's not against the law to be proud of your country. And it's also not against the law to have a president who wants to stand up for this country and make us number one again.
That's why I started Veterans for 45. So veterans, FOR, the number 45. Go on Facebook. You don't have to be a veteran, just a patriot. I have close to 475 members. I got 15 members just last night because I passed out something. I got 15 of you guys joined last night and 10 this morning, so 25 in the last 2 days. So get that in mind, Veterans for 45. And I'm also working for Veterans for Trump. So I'm out there, and it's sad that I can't get people to put a Trump sign in their yard. What do you feel about that, Ryan?
Well, I know that if there's so many people out there, it's amazing. You're not going to go find many Trump supporters that are going to go steal Biden signs because we don't want to touch it anyway.
Right.
But it seems like they always want to steal your signs out of your front yard and throw them away because, I mean, there's just so much hate out there. I mean, I have a song called "He's Still Your President." I wrote it specifically for all those people that want to steal my Trump sign if I put it out on the front of my yard. But our homeowners association doesn't allow political signs in any kind, so it really doesn't matter. But I could put an American flag up on the front of my house, and I'm good with that.
Great. So just going to close it out because we're still trying to stay close to the 20-minute mark here. Last minute, say, what do you got? What do you got, Hollywood?
The best thing I can tell you is you get onto our national website, which is shadowwarriormc.com. We got Ryan's page up on there. We got Adam Martin's page up on there. We have links to Beyond the Battlefield, 14th Hour Foundation, and a great patriotic, crazy man who's friends of both Ryan and I, Heath Smith with Forged America.
Yeah,
great. He is great. So get on my page. It'll take you directly to Ryan's page. That's a true patriot, a good brother of mine, and if the man tells you something, you believe it.
Yeah. Because,
when you were talking about Trump and stuff like that, tell him real quick, man, who your biggest reposter is. I mean,
Don Jr. likes my comments on his. He follows me on Instagram, and I somehow ended up becoming one of his top commentators on his page. Awesome. And the hate comes like nobody's business on my page. Death threats. You name it. I mean, but I'm always on his page because they wonder why I'm commenting, and they say you're always the first to comment on a page. Well, all the haters come on my comments. And they don't understand that the more they engage on there, it makes mine the top comment because of their engagement. And they're like, "You're always commenting first." No, I'll be like the 900th comment on there. Right. But all y'all haters out there want to come on there and say something to me and just spew your hate. It just makes it the top comment, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, they don't know the algorithm behind Facebook. They don't know the matrix, right? They're helping you out. They don't. So one last minute, I want you to do the closure, Ryan. Go ahead, close
I appreciate it. So if you guys want to check out my Instagram page is Ryan Weaver Country, Facebook is Ryan Weaver Country. But if you want to check out all of my social media, go to weavercountry.com. I got some awesome boots that are out there. My Old Glory. I'm a partner brand with 9 Line Apparel.
Yes,
you can check out all the stuff that we got on there. And thanks so much, Chance, for having my. I got to get I don't know why I haven't put the Shadow Warrior Riders homepage. I got to get that on my homepage.
Well, that's a damn good question.
I don't understand that. I feel like I am lacking in my duties. But anyway, hey, we love you guys out there, all my brothers and sisters in arms, and our heroes just the same. We can't thank you enough for everything that you do, the sacrifices that you make every single day to keep this great country of ours safe. Chance is still doing that. He's an incredible friend of mine. Love him like a brother. And check out the Shadow Warrior Riders. You will not regret getting involved with this organization and supporting it.
All right, I want to thank once again Chance, Hollywood Shower, Ryan Weaver from a great epic event, Shadow Warriors Beyond the Battlefield here in downtown. I'm looking forward for the next event. So once again, Sergeant Dave at KLRN Radio on the Revitalizing Lives podcast. You can always email me at SGT, short for Sergeant, Dave Matthews, MATTHEWS, just like the band. So that's Sergeant Dave Matthews at gmail.com. Once again, thanks for being instrumental. Both of you two were incredible this weekend. I was so proud to be a part of this organization. All right, Pop Smoke out